welcome to my Halloween Villaging YouTube channel. As you guys can tell, I absolutely love creating realistic Halloween villages using either Department 56 or Lamax Spooky Town homes and accessories. I really haven't been villaging that long. Last couple of years, I've built several displays. I've grown over those 2 years and feel that I've learned a lot. And this has become from more of a hobby in the very beginning, or at least I thought it would be a hobby, to more of an addiction as of late. I seem like I'm doing it all the time. And so a couple of years ago, you guys asked for tutorial videos. I said I would probably create a YouTube channel to help you see what I do. I just never got around to it. And so this year with being at home and working from home occasionally, I've decided that the time is right, and so here we are with the channel. And so what I'd like to show you in tonight's video is simply just go through and show you the villages that I've already built and set up in our home. It's not a year-round display. We just love Halloween and we love fall, and so we've decorated a little bit early. And so I'll take you and show you through some of the villages and explain kind of the methodology of which I use to build them, some of the ideas and thoughts behind them. And then as we go through, I'll talk about some of the things that we built using homemade stuff or some techniques like that. That'll be this evening's video. Obviously, as we get further into this, I'll release another video on tools and equipment that I use. And then as I go into some of the builds that I've got set up in the future, we'll do those from start to finish, and I'll record everything and kind of walk you through the steps that I'm doing as I'm building those. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'll take you on a tour. So the first village I want to show you is what I call Trick or Treat Lane. I built this village 2 years ago and have had added to it over the last year or so to make it what you see today. The overall village is 8 feet long. It consists of 4 2-foot by 2-foot pink foam ESP foam sections, all slid together to make the one display that you see. I made this display before I really had any decent tools. I used, especially you can see if you look close enough on the brick, that is all done using a pen or a pencil to kind of carve the stonework into the to the stonework there. The cobblestone was all done individually with a tool that I made to do that. Each cobblestone was then painted almost individually. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that. I have since found better ways, maybe a little more expensive ways, but either way works, and I'll show you both of those in a tutorial. Some of the trees we made from flower stems at Michael's, all the orange trees, the white trees, and the yellow trees were all made using flower stems. I will do a tutorial to show you how that works as well and how we built those. I still have some of those stems. We need to build some more trees for future builds coming up for the rest of this year. The goal behind this build was to make it look as realistic as possible to a hometown, a home street that you could see yourself walking down with your kids, going trick-or-treating on Halloween night, parade, candy, dogs out and about, and so on and so forth. So that was the look of going through here. This was also the first village that I was able to create a curved street and elevation changes in that. Again, I will show you in another tutorial on how to do that as we go through and develop additional videos and so on and so forth. So this first one is my oldest village, and again, it's called Trick or Treat Lane. Let's go look at the other one. Okay, so this village is called Manor Row. This is more of the upscale side of town, I guess, if there is such a thing. These are some of the homes that I really wanted to add to my collection. And so most of the homes that I have here and on the previous display, I bought used. These are too old. I haven't been collecting that long. And so I bought most of these off of Local folks that I would find on OfferUp or on Macari or on eBay that I would purchase from and acquired most of these homes. But these homes have bigger yards, they have a bigger street, just a better part of the town where you would find your bigger homes, your mansions or your manors. And so little more detail, I think, went into this one. And then I started using some different tools and some different methodologies. The stonework here is all done using a hot wire foam cutter by the Hot Wire Foam Factory. The street is cobblestone, yet it is done using Department 56 matting versus hand carving everything. It makes your life so much easier. It saves you a whole lot of time, and I think it looks just as good, if not better. And then the sidewalk, what I forgot to tell you on the other Trick or Treat Lane display, the sidewalk was made using a foam, almost like a cosplay type foam that you would find in the craft stores. It bends, it's pliable, you can cut it with scissors and so on and so forth. And this is all done here with my foam cutting table that I got. And this is all ESP foam. It holds its shape a lot better. I would never use anything other than this now for a sidewalk. You do a tinfoil rolling technique across it. I'll do a tutorial on that as well. That shows you how to keep the texture on it. It maintains that as you paint it. It looks absolutely wonderful in my opinion. And so this village is 10 foot long, so it's got 5 of those 2-foot squares. And then I did the top portion on this one, unlike the Trick or Treat Lane, is done using 2-inch foam that I got from the hardware store versus the 1-inch, so you didn't have to stack it as much or as high. And that is my manor row. Very pleased with the way this set turned out. Okay, this display is the one that I'm most pleased with this year for the way it turned out. And this one is the cemetery that I created to display my Department 56 Rest in Peace crypts. This series started in 2013. They developed their first crypt, and they've released one every year up through this year. And so I don't have them all, but I'm working diligently on my collection. Some can be pretty expensive, so you just have to wait and be patient to find a pretty good deal. But I'm pleased with this display because I put a lot of time and effort into the details of this one. As you can see here, the stones for the pathway are all individually cut. I'll do a tutorial and show you how I did that, show you how I laid those in there, and then the painting techniques and so on and so forth. Cut holes for some of the caskets to lay in so it's not as boring. The grass is a little more dead on this one. And then really, I think what makes this pop the most is the fencing that goes around it. And the fencing was created by very precise cutting with a foam hot wire table used to cut out the parts of the fence. And then the actual fence itself, I bought a dollhouse fence off of eBay and made that work in lieu of trying to create something there. Just a lot simpler that way. But love this piece. As the Crypt collection continues to grow, I'll probably have to make a bigger cemetery, but this one should be around for a while. Absolutely. Love the way this one turned out. And the final piece that I want to show you tonight is the Haunted Mansion from Department 56 with the hitchhiking ghost. You've seen photos. I'll throw another photo here so you can see a close-up in better lighting. But this was going to be the centerpiece in a much larger display that goes over our TV in our family room. And it's honestly, it looks good from a distance. You can't see all the detail, and a lot of detail went into creating this, and it's almost taken away where it sits. So next year we'll find a better place to put it. so you can see more details and probably put something else up here in its place. But I will create another tutorial through the series of showing you how I did the brickwork, the fencing, all of the poles and everything for the queue lines. We try to make this look as much like the park as we possibly could. We absolutely love Disneyland. We love Disney. We love the Haunted Mansion. So wanted to do it justice by doing that. And the area where it sits actually doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. It came together quite nice, and from a distance, like I said, it looks great. You just don't get to see all the detail that went into the display base, and so next year we'll figure out a better way to display that. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a better idea of the villages that I've got set up and what a little bit of the ideas that went into the way that I thought about creating them, and hopefully the look that I was trying to get out of them. And so as we go forward in these tutorials, I want to give you all the ideas that I had. I want to show you every tool that I used. I want to start from the very beginning to where I didn't have many tools. I didn't know what I was doing a whole lot. I watched a whole lot of other YouTube videos on how to figure this out. And so I'll take you from the very basic pencil and a ruler to some of the foam factory tools that I use today, and the techniques that have led me to some of the villages that you've seen in our home this evening. I do have a couple of more that are in work. I have the Peanuts house that I'm currently working on for this year. That'll be a small vignette that I'm working on, and we just delivered, or had delivered today, the Pumpkin Town, Disney Pumpkin Town for 2021 from Department 56. We got the whole lot of that, and so we'll be building a multi-layer display to put those on, and again, I'll do a tutorial as I go through those, so that way you're right there along with us as we build those, and you can see exactly what we're doing. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those. I'm always anxious to hear what you're thinking. And if you want to see a video on something specific, let us know in the comments and I'll be happy to do that. Take care. We'll see you next time.